What's up YouTube, it's Ghostwriter15 here, back at it again with another Edison format video. And today's video is going to be my most recent top 4 finish at Deck Devastator 7. This tournament happened this weekend. It was a 2-day event. It was about 165 players or so. And I ended up making top 4, 8 rounds of Swiss to day 1, and then top 16 day 2. And I played my usual Dragon Turbo deck. So without further ado, let's just jump right into the deck profile. Of course, 3 red eyes, boss monster, 3 blue eyes. That's all you really need in my opinion. You don't need any other level 8. You don't want a brick. 3 white stones because white stone is the +1 of the deck. It's so easy to get pluses with this. 3 debris dragons because debris dragon makes it a lot easier to special summon multiple red eyes on the field. Also combos really well with instant fusion, and it's a cards of continents target. And something that's really underrated about Debris Dragon is that it has 2000 defense. There's times where Debris Dragon can actually stall you out, and you're able to just stall until you can win the game. 1 Quackimiro Drago. He's a brick, but he's a good brick because he guarantees that your OTK goes through. 1 Flamvell Guard. I know some people don't play Flamvell Guard in their Dragon Turbo deck, but I really disagree with that. I think Flamvell Guard is better than any other target you can play. It's better than like Wyvern, it's better than Prime Material Dragon, because it's the most consistent one. It's the one that you can actually use for cards of continents. It's the one that you can use with instant fusion, and it's the one that you can use to summon red eyes from your hand. So yeah, I went with consistency over like all these like super higher ceiling cards. Like the deck already has a high ceiling as it is, so I felt that I just wanted to be more consistent with it. So 1 Vortex Trooper. This one's a little different. My RBT winning list had 2 Vortex Troopers, but I actually wanted to play Giant Shroonade in the main this time. And I tested a lot with just 1 Vortex Trooper, and I was able to test enough to the point where I felt very comfortable only having 1. I still think you need 1 because it does help you unbrick your hands at times, and also it makes your Debris Dragon an actual card. Like you can just go Synchro for Black Rose, Synchro for Ancient Fairy. That gives Debris Dragon even more options with what you can do with it, which is why I still like the 1 Vortex Trooper. And then the last card is Tragodia. Tragodia is insane. I don't think Gorz is better. There's no way. I tested Gorz quite a lot, and it kept conflicting with Reckless Greed. And there's no way that I'm cutting Reckless Greed from my main deck, so Gorz had to go. Tragodia is just a better card in this deck because you can set everything, draw your entire hand with Super Rejuvenation, and you can still summon Gorz. Also, it's really nice to have, or Tragodia, excuse me. Also, you can use Tragodia's effect to steal monsters. You can actually steal a lot of boss monsters with Tragodia, such as Stardust. You can steal Colossal Fighter. You can steal Thought Ruler. Like all these really strong monsters. So I really like Tragodia. For the spells, it's 3 upstarts, of course. There's a couple times where I tested without upstarts, and although there is more situations where you can OTK because they only have 8,000, I still think upstart is a card that you should be maining. The consistency is just too important. You don't want to have bricky hands because if you really think about it, if you cut upstarts, like what are you really going to replace it with? Lightning Vortex, Prime Material, a Card Trooper. I don't think those cards are like they don't add consistency to the deck. So I might as well play the consistency cards with upstarts. So 3 trade-in, 3 cards of consonants. Those are pretty obvious. You have to play that. Same with Super Rejuvenation. 2 white stones, or 2 magical stones. This card's insane. I wish it was at 3, but I'll take 2. 2 instant fusion, staple. 1 Future Fusion, probably the best card in the deck. 1 card destruction, maybe the best card in the deck, but for sure it's Future Fusion or card destruction. So 1 Heavy Storm, 1 Giant Trunade. As I said earlier, I really wanted to play the Giant Trunade in the main, just because, you know, I didn't want to lose game 1 to a lot of dumb stuff like Royal Oppression. So I wanted more answers to that. 1 Pot of Avarice, the only one you need. You don't need more than 1. If you play more than 1, you're gonna brick with it more often than not. And then the last 3 cards, of course, the 3 Reckless Greeds. Consistency is very important. I know they're not the greatest going second, but they're still very good. And when you're going first, they're absolutely insane. Like, it doesn't matter if you skip your draw phase most of the time, because you're gonna draw your entire deck, so it doesn't really matter. For the side deck, 1 Prime Material. He doesn't make the main, but he does make the side, of course, because there's a lot of matchups where he's very important. For example, like Hero Frogs, Hero Beat, any Raikou deck. 2 Quackimiro Dragos for like Light Sworn, Chrysia Sworn, the Mirror Match, and against Gladiator Beast, surprisingly. Just because he's a 1900 beater and he also prevents Gazars from being summoned. I know it's not the greatest card, but it's still better than nothing. So this card has like multiple uses in different matchups. The 1 Raikou, so I like this against like Blackwings going first, because if you set this and they attack into it with like Shura, they don't get to search. Or if they activate like turn 1 Whirlwind, you can pop the Whirlwind and you don't have to worry about it anymore. Because the problem with Royal Decree is it doesn't stop Whirlwind. So Raikou can actually stop the Whirlwind. Also, I'm playing Mind Control, so that can combo really well with that. The 1 Card Trooper. So Card Trooper, I played it in my main a couple of times, but I still think it's better in the side, just to get rid of pesky cards like Fossil Dyna and crash into something like Thunder King. 1 Lightning Vortex. So I've cut down on Lightning Vortex to 1 because I am very committed to the Mirror Force and Torrential Tribute in my side. I feel like there's a lot of matchups where you can side them in and people won't respect them, so that'll be enough to actually stop like the Floodgate monsters. 1 Mind Control, just because it's really good against Raikou hamster decks. 2 Masquerade Strix for the Frog matchup. 2 Royal Decree for like Blackwings or any trap heavy deck. Hero Beat, for example. 2 Royal Oppression. This can be used in a lot of different matchups like Diva Hero, the Mirror Match. Gladiator Beast is a very important one. So yeah, I really like the Oppression in the side. And then last but not least, the Sweepers, Torrential Tribute, Mirror Force. Like I said earlier, nobody respects these cards in Dragon Turbo because they just don't see it coming. And it'll just blow them out if they don't respect it sometimes. So for the extra deck, I say this all the time. I think the extra deck is perfect. I would never change anything. The only way you should ever change anything from this extra deck is if you're playing Gores. You could probably cut like 1 Dark End Dragon or 1 Dark Fire Dragon for a Dark End Dragon. But besides that, everything else is like very standard. Everything you need. 1 Armory Arm, 1 Catastor, 1 Goyo, 1 Brio, 1 Iron Chain, 1 Black Rose, Ancient Fairy, Stardust, Trident Dragion, Dragoness, Darkfire, Mariner, Ojama Knight, and 5-Headed Dragon. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is the deck list I used to get top 4 at the most recent Deck Devastators tournament. A lot of people entered. It was very fun. It was a great tournament. I had a great experience. Shout out to Snack for hosting a awesome tournament. And yeah, I'm going to be doing a couple of replay analysis videos sometime in a couple of days from now, showing off my replays from the tournament. So if you want to see that, stay tuned. But that's pretty much it for now. This is Ghost Rider 15 signing out.